Let's talk about over-engineering. For most of us, that word just screams waste, right? Unnecessary complexity, maybe even a total failure. But what if I told you it could actually be the key to your success? Today, we're going to dig into the hidden power of over-engineering.
Okay, right off the bat, let me ask you this. When you hear that term over-engineering, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Probably something like wasted time, right? Or needless complexity. Basically, a big mistake. But what if it's actually a secret weapon when you do it the right way?
So in this explainer, that's exactly what we're going to do. We are going to completely rethink what it means to over-engineer something. It's time to flip the script on this whole idea.
All right, first things first, let's get on the same page. Let's talk about engineering. And I mean in the broadest sense possible. It's just how we make stuff. Could be a physical product, sure, but it could also be a piece of software or, heck, even a blog post. If you're building something, you're engineering it.
Okay, and here's the big twist. Let's redefine over-engineering. Forget all that negative baggage. From now on, let's think of it as the power to excel. It's when you deliberately choose to go way beyond good enough to create something that, well, that actually stands out.
But why would you even do that? What's the point? It's actually pretty simple. The goal is to stand out. In a world where everyone else is just doing the bare minimum, you need to be different. You need to be better.
And look, this isn't just some ego trip. The benefits are totally real. When you put in that extra effort to create an amazing customer experience, you don't just stand out. You create actual fans. And those fans, they become your marketing team, fueling that powerful word of mouth that money just can't buy. And that's how you become a leader, in sales and in quality.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Get your customers so excited about what you've made that they tell everyone about it. That's not just marketing. That's the best and cheapest kind of marketing there is. It's priceless.
Okay, I know this might all sound a little abstract, so let's bring it down to earth with a fantastic real-world example. And it comes from a place you would probably never, ever expect. Let's talk about a U-Haul truck.
So picture this. A guy is just sitting in traffic, minding his own business, staring at the back of a regular old U-Haul truck. Super boring, everyday stuff. But then he notices something really, really clever.
Yeah, you see it right there. The entire back of the truck was basically a sales letter. And not just for the U-Haul brand, no. It was for the experience of renting that specific truck. It's genius. It's designed for a captive audience, the poor souls stuck in traffic right behind it. And just look at what they're advertising. They're not talking about engine size or torque specs. Who cares about that? No, they're hitting on the real anxieties, the stuff you actually worry about when you're moving. Is this thing going to be a bone shaker and break all my plates? Is that ramp going to be a nightmare to use? Can it actually make it cross-country? And please, please tell me the AC works when it's 100 degrees out.
That's the absolute genius of it. U-Haul over-engineered their marketing. They took a boring blank truck door and turned it into this brilliant rolling billboard that speaks directly to the customer's biggest fears. They figured out what you were worried about and they put the answers right where you couldn't miss them.
So that's awesome for U-Haul, but how do we apply this U-Haul principle to what we're doing? Well, it all boils down to one thing. You have to figure out what those extra thoughtful features should be. And the only way to do that is by actually listening to your customers.
Because let's be real, the biggest problem out there isn't over-engineering. It's the exact opposite. For every one product with maybe a few too many bells and whistles, there are 1,000 that are under-engineered. They fail not because they're too complex, but because they're missing the features people actually care about.
You can really think of this as two completely different ways of working. On one side, you've got the engineer in a cave, the person just building what they think is cool, with zero input from the outside world. That's a recipe for under-engineering. But on the other side, you've got the customer-focused creator. This person surveys the market, they listen to complaints, they find out what people really want. And that is the path to smart over-engineering.
So how do you actually do this listening? You don't need some huge, expensive market research budget. Seriously, the answer is already out there. Just go to where your potential customers are hanging out online, places like Reddit or Facebook groups. Find those communities and then just listen. Pay attention to what they complain about. Those complaints are a goldmine. People are literally telling you out loud what problems they have and what features they wish existed. That's your product roadmap, right there for the taking.
Okay, so before you run off and start adding a million new features to everything, hold on. There's one golden rule here. This is the thing that separates the smart, effective kind of over-engineering from the wasteful, time-sucking kind.
And here it is. It's simple. Put the extra feature on, but don't waste weeks on something that's only worth pennies to the customer, you know? Go ahead and add that little something extra that will make people go, wow, but you have to be realistic. Is the effort worth the reward? It's all about balancing your time and energy with the actual value it brings to the person using it.
So I want to leave you with this question to chew on. What's your sales letter on the back of the truck? What's that one thoughtful extra detail, that one little piece of smart over-engineering that could transform your work